You're watching the NewsTrack. I'm Rahul Kanwal. And India Today's special investigation Operation Digital Arrest is my top focus on the NewsTrack tonight.
You are under digital arrest. Beware, news scam alert. Innocents trapped, you could be next. Operation Digital Arrest. India Today special investigation is our top focus on the NewsTrack.
Have you been getting calls and texts about couriers being stuck? Beware, because this could well be a trap for the latest digital fraud. It's a well thought out web of deceit, complete with fake cops, fake CBI, ED officers. It starts with a video call from an unknown number. India Today special investigation team's Nitin Jain investigates. Here's part 1 of Operation Digital Arrest.
India Today's special investigation team responds to a call from a courier company. They are told that their parcel is stuck in Mumbai.
Please hold on the line. Customer service will be.
Good afternoon.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर।
रोहन बात कर रहा हूँ नेशनल कुरियर सर्विस से। सर जैसा कि मैं अपने सिस्टम में देख पा रहा हूँ सर, आपके नाम से एक पार्सल शो हो रहा है जो मुंबई से बीजिंग भेजा जा रहा था 14 अक्टूबर 2024 में।
हाँ सर।
सक्सेसफुली डिलीवर नहीं हुआ। क्या आप कुछ जानते हैं इस पार्सल के बारे में?
सर मुझे इस पार्सल के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता है सर।
ओके सर, फॉर योर काइंड इन्फॉर्मेशन सर, आपका नेम, आपकी आइडेंटिटी और सर आपका फोन नंबर यूज किया गया है इसे भेजने के लिए। सर आपकी जानकारी के लिए बताना चाहूंगा, मुंबई कस्टम डिपार्टमेंट द्वारा हमें एक लीगल नोटिस रिसीव हुआ है जिसमें बताया गया है कि जो आपका पार्सल मुंबई से बीजिंग जा रहा था इसमें कुछ प्रोहिबिटेड आइटम्स थे, जिसके कारण मुंबई कस्टम डिपार्टमेंट ने इसे सीज कर दिया।
The caller says that a parcel with our team member's name and details has been seized by the Mumbai Customs Department. Not just that, the caller even proceeds to reveal the details of the package.
सर आई डोंट नो सर, हमने आपका पार्सल नहीं देखा जो मुंबई कस्टम ने सीज किया सर, वहां से हमें ये जानकारी मिली है सर आपके पार्सल में जो कुछ चीजें थी सर। Yes sir, it's not your, but sir you need to complain. You need to note it then complain the file sir. 5 credit cards, 7 passports, 3.5 kg clothes, 400 gram MDMA.
ये क्या होता है सर?
I don't know better, but it's illegal substance. It's banned in India, sir. Strictly banned in India.
Next, the caller tells us that we will be connected to Mumbai police. And we get a WhatsApp call from a man in police uniform.
हाँ सर, आवाज आ रही है सर।
क्या समस्या आपकी?
सर वो मेरे नाम से किसी ने पार्सल भेज दिया सर, मैंने तो भेजा भी नहीं सर पार्सल। वो कह रहा है उसमें एमडीएम है, मेरा कोई मतलब नहीं है सर। कोई आसिफ नाम का आदमी है सर।
देखिए नारकोटिक्स तक जा रहा है जो पूरा इंडिया में बैन है
सर।
व्यक्ति से 10 ग्राम भी पाया जाए तो 3 से 7 साल की सजा है, और आप बोल रहे हैं कि ये 400 ग्राम जा रहा है।
सर मेरा कोई मतलब नहीं है सर। सर मैंने किसी को नहीं भेजा सर।
आपने नहीं भेजा तो कैसे मिसयूज हो रहा है आपका आइडेंटिटी? कहाँ पे यूज किया अपना आइडेंटिटी?
सर मैंने कोई यूज नहीं किया सर।
The policeman is dressed in uniform. Everything looks and seems real.
आपके पास कौन है?
कोई नहीं है सर।
मिस्टर नितिन
सर
कौन है आपके आजू बाजू में?
कोई नहीं है सर, देख लो सर।
आइए
देखो सर।
But then he paints a scary scenario, almost threatening us with dire consequences.
हेलो,
कोई डेड बॉडी होगी और उसके पास आपका जीरोक्स कॉपी होगा, तो आप फिर भी
सर मेरा कोई मतलब नहीं है सर, मैंने भेजा ही नहीं सर, तो मैं कैसे हो जाऊंगा सर?
देखिए आपका लेना देना है, इसलिए आप एक अपना कंप्लेंट फाइल करवाइए।
हाँ सर प्लीज
अगर
सर।
अगला 1 घंटा बाद
सर
वेपन डीलिंग और कोई डेड बॉडी आपके नाम पे मिलती है तो क्या आप ऐसे ही ऑफिस में बैठे रहेंगे? आपके लिए समस्या नहीं बननी पड़ी।
This was just the tip of the iceberg. This alleged Mumbai cop then goes a step further, claiming now to record a video statement.
मेरा मैच नंबर लिखिए।
हाँ सर।
SPI
क्या नंबर सर? SPI
yes डैश छोटा 10994
सर।
आज डेट है 21 अक्टूबर 2024। हम नितिन जैन वीडियो स्टेटमेंट ले रहे हैं।
Next, he asks for Aadhaar details and drops another bombshell. After drug smuggling, a money laundering charge.
सर
क्या सुन रहे हैं डिपार्टमेंट से हम?
क्या सर?
डिपार्टमेंट ने जानकारी दी है कि आपके नाम पे तो एक कैनरा बैंक अकाउंट जो कि मुंबई में ओपन है और आप मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग और ड्रग स्मगलिंग में भी इन्वॉल्व हैं। क्या आप एक और नई समस्या में भी फंस गए हैं?
सर पता नहीं सर।
कैनरा बैंक अकाउंट का आपको कोई जानकारी नहीं है?
नहीं सर मेरा है ही नहीं सर। अजय सर मेरा कोई मतलब ही नहीं अजय सर।
The alleged cop claims the money laundering case is linked to a big businessman who is under investigation.
आपको पता ना कौन है? ये जो मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का केस जिसमें आपका नाम है, ये केस में आपका नाम है, के बारे में कभी सुना आपने?
नहीं सर, नहीं सर,
नहीं सुना। इंडिया का एक बहुत ही बड़ा बिजनेसमैन है जो का फाउंडर भी है
सर। मैंने
इंडिया में 538 करोड़ का मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग किया है। 538 करोड़ आपको क्या लगता है छोटा मोटा अमाउंट है?
सर बहुत ज्यादा है सर।
इस केस में आपका नाम आ गया, आपकी डिटेल्स मिस यूज हुई है जैसा आप बता रही हैं, हमें इस बारे में कोई जानकारी नहीं है।
Details of the case, news clips, even alleged CBI and Supreme Court documents are shared with us. And we are told that the case and the investigation is a national secret.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, नेशनल सीक्रेट देश का सीक्रेट होता है।
सर सर
देश के सीक्रेट को किसी से भी शेयर नहीं किया जाता।
सर सर सर।
This cop then took our financial details and asked us not to share any details with anyone. Through the conversation, we were asked not to take any other calls or move around. The day ended with our investigative reporter being told that he will be under surveillance. What happened next? Stay tuned. A report by Nitin Jain of India Today's Special Investigation Team.
Mr. Nitin!
सर सर।
What you've seen so far is just part one of this India Today investigation, Operation Digital Arrest. The Prime Minister has been highlighting this issue as well now. We've been working on this investigation for several weeks. Joining us to talk about this, I'm joined on the NewsTrack at this moment by Ankush Mishra. He is Deputy Superintendent of Police in the Cyber Station, Special Task Force in Dehradun. I have with me Kanish Gaur. Kanish Gaur has just put out a report on the scale of digital arrest in India. He's the founder of the India Future Foundation. Nitin Jain is one of India's best-known cybersecurity experts. to delve into the psyche of people who may have heard that there is this kind of a scam going on and yet fall prey to it. I'm joined by Nirali Bhatia. She's a cyber psychologist. With me in the studio is Triveni Singh, former Superintendent of Police of Cybercrime. Welcome, Triveni ji. And Richa Mishra is our colleague at the India Today group. She too, like Nitin Jain, fell prey to a similar scam. I want to go across to Ankush Mishra first. Ankush Mishra joins us from Dehradun. You're currently in the police force, Mr. Mishra, and we're seeing, my mum, just as we were preparing this investigation, fell prey to a digital scam just last night, and through the day today we've been dealing with that. Why is it, you think, that so many people, despite knowing that this may be happening, seem to be falling prey to this scam? And what kind of success are you having with trying to help people get their details and get some of this money back?
Firstly, thank you so much for having me on this show. And as you rightly pointed, there are a number of reasons why such things are happening. First, the foremost reason is the lack of awareness that the government of India and all the central agencies as well as the state police, they are working very hard to raise awareness. But unfortunately, cyber criminals are continuously innovating. They are having new ways of cheating people, cheating innocent people. Secondly, in terms of success, cases are being registered, they are being investigated. But the magnitude of the complaints are huge. There are a lot of complaints which are being reported, and the quantum of money which is being lost, it is also big. And also the amount of money is being split into different mule accounts. That's a big challenge for law enforcement agencies, where I'm talking about a particular bank account being split into 10 different bank accounts, and then the money trail goes out. So from the investigation point of view, it's a normal challenge. And from the point of awareness, is again a challenge that how do we keep updated ourselves. So that is why new crimes are coming forward.
So Ankush Mishra, is this happening from a particular part of the country? Like this morning, the people who were calling my mom were traced to the Bengal-Bihar border. So is it happening in certain parts, like Jamtara came into the news, then Nu in Haryana came into the news? Is it happening in particular pockets, or is it now very widespread and diffused?
I will say it's quite widespread, and there are two parts to it. The first part, the India part, the domestic cyber criminals, they are basically mules. They are the agents who are getting bank accounts operated. They are supplying SIMs and all. The money, the trail that we have often seen in many of these cases, the digital scams cases, digital arrest cases, the money is going to many of the countries in Southeast Asia like Cambodia, Laos, Thailand. So those are the places which were very badly impacted by Corona. And after that, those areas, those pockets became international hubs for cybercrime. So there are two parts to it. There are certain Indian associates who help them with bank accounts and SIMs, and the masterminds or the people who are operating the whole scam. Many of them are located in Southeast Asia.
Okay, and what's your most important message to people watching at this time to ensure that they don't end up falling prey? Because look at this guy. You look like a cop, but you could also look like some kind of a TV star stroke model. But the guy on the screen speaking to Nitin looks like this really dangerous, villainous police person. He kind of might appear more like a police person than you to someone watching.
Yeah, correct. So for that, for raising awareness through your all audience, I will like to humbly request everybody that if you fall prey to such cyber crimes, to cyber modus operandis, you need to report at National Helpline 1930. This helpline number is being operated through Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, which is a wing of Ministry of Home Affairs. So 1930 is the number where you have to report at the earliest. Secondly, the Department of Telecommunication has come forward with a platform, with a portal called Chakshu platform. There you can report any link, any suspected mobile number, any website. So there are a couple of helplines, 1930 and Chakshu platform, through which if you report such mobile numbers, such links, such social media applications and such platforms, and the details of the fraudulent people who are trying to cheat, especially in this digital arrest scam. So the government and police would be able to take timely measures and would be able to save others from getting scammed.
Okay, we'll leave it over there. Ankush Mishra, thank you very much for joining us from the cyber station of the Special Task Force in Uttarakhand. Thank you, sir. Richa, describe to our viewers what happened to you. Was it similar to what Nitin went through? Because that looks like a very dangerous police person. He's speaking with a lot of conviction. How did you get caught?
मुझे जो कॉल आया था वो 5 अक्टूबर को आया था और सैटरडे का दिन था दोपहर में 12:15 और वो कॉल नॉर्मली रैंडम फेडेक्स आईवेयर कॉल चला कि कुरियर से आया हुआ है। तो मैंने पिक किया, मेरा ऑर्डर आना था क्योंकि इधर 2 बड़ी सेल आ रखी थी, तो मैंने भी ऑर्डर्स कर रखे थे, तो मुझे लगा शायद वही उसी में से। फेडेक्स का नाम सुनते मैंने उनको बोल दिया मेरा कोई ऑर्डर नहीं है। तो ही जस्ट सेड कि अच्छा नहीं आप एक बार सुन तो लीजिए हमारी बात, आपका आधार इसमें लगा हुआ है। तो मैंने कहा मेरा कुरियर में आधार कैसे, आप नंबर बता दीजिए। उन्होंने मुझे नंबर बताया, फिर उन्होंने कॉल ट्रांसफर जस्ट करण वर्मा आते हैं और फिर उसके बाद स्टार्ट हुआ। और ये चीज़ें उन्होंने कंफर्म करा दिया कि मेरा आधार नंबर वहाँ पे लिंक है और उसका मिसयूज़ हुआ है। तो जस्ट सिंपल थिंग आपको ये करनी है, हम इंटरनेशनल कंपनी है और उसमें कोई चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो नहीं होनी चाहिए, आपको मुंबई पुलिस के पास ट्रांसफ़र कर रहे हैं। एक रिकॉर्ड हमें करवा दीजिए बीप के बाद कि आपका लेना देना नहीं है, और इसके बाद आप मुंबई पुलिस को सेम आगे बता दीजिए, तो ये फ्यूचर के लिए आप सेफ हो जाएंगे। तो सिर्फ उसके लिए मैंने
फिर मुंबई पुलिस ने आपने भी बात की,
करण वर्मा ने फिर कॉल ट्रांसफर किया। देन एक कंट्रोल रूम जैसी आवाज जो मैंने सिर्फ फिल्मों में शायद सुनी है, तो मुझे वो कंट्रोल रूम वर्ड यूज कर एग्जैक्टली।
तो आपको लगा नहीं कहीं पे कुछ स्कैम चल रहा है?
नहीं, करण वर्मा ने बहुत पोलाइटली बात करी और मुझे लगा कि नहीं शायद मेरा आधार मिसयूज हो गया। उन्होंने मुझसे ये भी कहा आपका वॉलेट कभी खोया था? मैंने कहा हाँ 1 साल पहले खोया था, मैंने FIR की थी क्योंकि मेरे उसमें डॉक्यूमेंट्स थे, मिसयूज हो जाते हैं। कह लेंगे वही मैम शायद आपका तभी मिसयूज हो गया। तो मुझे लगा शायद मिसयूज हो गया।
पुलिस से क्या बातचीत हुई? फिर
मुंबई पुलिस आती है, विनय कुमार चौधरी आते हैं। विनय कुमार चौधरी ने मुझे बोला कि आप बताइए क्या है। तो मैंने बोला मैंने आपको कॉल नहीं किया है, ये कॉल फेडेक्स से ट्रांसफर हुआ है और उन्होंने मुझे कहा है कि मैं आपको उन्होंने बताया एक सामान निकला हुआ है जो मुंबई से जा रहा था बाहर कहीं और उसको सीज किया गया है। तो उन्होंने बोला उसमें क्या क्या है? मैंने कहा उन्होंने मुझे ऑन पेपर सब लिखवाया, प्लीज आप लिख लीजिए। और उन्होंने मुझसे वो सारी चीजें बुलवाई कि जैंग शैन करके नाम था, ताइवान में भेज रही थी उस ऑर्डर को। मेरा आधार था, उसमें पूरा एड्रेस था पिन कोड के साथ ताइवान का, उसमें 4 किलो कपड़े थे और 2 पासपोर्ट थे, क्रेडिट कार्ड्स थे और उसमें 200 ग्राम MDMA था। ये MDMA सुन के मैंने उनसे भी पूछा था कि ये क्या होता है। उन्होंने बोला ये ड्रग्स होता है, आपको नहीं पता? अगर आपके पास ये मात्रा निकल है 200 ग्राम तो आपको 15 साल की जेल हो जाएगी। तो इसलिए
फिर आप निकली कैसे? आपको पैसे वैसे देने पड़े सेटल करने?
नहीं, मुझसे ये 2 घंटे चला पूरा प्रोसेस और उन्होंने मुझसे पैसे नहीं मांगे इसमें।
तो
बोला
क्या चाहते थे?
ये 7 दिन चलेगी जांच आपकी, आपको हर 2 घंटे पे अपनी रिपोर्ट देनी है, ये नेशनल सीक्रेट है, आपको किसी को नहीं बताना है, किसी को आप बताएंगे तो उसको भी जेल होगी और आपको भी पनिशमेंट होगी और आप मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग में है। लेकिन 1 घंटे बाद उन्होंने मुझे मान लिया था कि मैं क्रिमिनल हूँ, मैं ड्रग एडिक्ट हूँ, मैं रैकेट चला रही हूँ और मैं मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग 2 करोड़ की कर चुकी थी। कोई पंजापति सैयद है जिन्होंने मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग की है 275 करोड़ की और उसमें 2 करोड़ मैंने फ्रॉड किए थे और बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा में मेरा अकाउंट है जिसकी पासबुक कॉपी उन्होंने मुझे भेज दी।
What I find difficult to understand, Nirali Bhatia, this is happening to a lot of people, quite a few of whom are smart, sharp, well-read, articulate, well-aware people. So they know that these things are happening, and yet somehow when it happens to them, it hits them like a bullet and they don't know what to do with it and they fall prey to this. Describe mentally what you think is going on.
So thank you, Rahul, for having me on this show. Yes, it is definitely a lot of psychological impact and the trigger. So there are certain triggers that are induced during this particular scam. So primarily, there's also an authority bias. The moment we see somebody in a uniform or somebody in a, let's say, legal position or something, automatically there is the bias that triggers in us, which is about complying. So हमें ये लगने लगता है कि yes, अगर पुलिस प्रोफेशनल बोल रहे हैं and they're giving so much of information to validate that yes, it is me only, they've got the right person. After that, our bias sets in and we will start complying. Despite of all the intelligence we may have, we may even have the awareness that no, this kind of scam is going on, but it's very difficult to control our biases. Also because of that now we are into a legal mess. It starts inducing fear. See, it is most of our, legal provisions are run on fear. We still have cases, people who challenge that particular fear, but otherwise, common man who are law-abiding citizens, legalities do bring in fear. So it is also out of fear that we keep complying, and overall, because this is all happening online, so somewhere we also tend to believe that I may not have 100% know-how. How many common people, whether they are literate, whether they are well-positioned in their profession, etc., are aware of all the legal formalities, all the legal procedures. None of us are completely aware unless we have first-hand experiences. So because of that, we are confused. So in our head, we all have in our head a flight and fight mechanism when we sense danger. But now this is happening online. So normal triggers or normal signs that go to the brain when we see danger. For example, if we see fire, our brain immediately gets a message, this is danger, fire, fly, like so we hit the flight mode. In online world, there's so much of confusion created because of this kind of fear and lack of awareness, lack of proper knowledge of legalities, etc., that this whole mess is created between should I fight or should I fly? And in between, it's the biases which make us comply. That is the reason there is a lot of cognitive fog. We get confused, we get into the panic mode, there is embarrassment, there is shame that is indulged by their words and the kind of narration that they give. To any common person who is a very law-abiding citizen, this comes as a huge shock value. And hence, irrespective of us being knowledgeable, us being in a powerful position, also at times go through this panic created by the fear and end up complying because of the biases.
Nitin Jain, what's your advice to people watching at this time? What can or should they do? Which is practical. Last time we met with you, aapne bola sab Google se hata do, don't have any access to any app, etc. Now that at that time it was a very real danger, may seem like the logical thing to do, but usually you revert back to normal because people do have digital lives and they like convenience, and that can be dangerous. You realize that, but till the time you get trapped, you feel, okay, let's just get on with it. What can people do to ensure they don't fall prey to these kind of digital arrests?
Rahul, two things are happening. People like us never bothered when we started giving our mobile numbers and email IDs to restaurants, shopping portals, malls here and there, because we always thought, yaar, in sabse kya hoga? Theek hai, koi spam messages aa jayenge. We never bothered to give photocopies of our Aadhaar card for getting every connection for any sort of KYC. We never bothered to give extra photos when we wanted to give, we gave our family details to participate in lucky draws and lotteries. Now what has happened over the period of 7-8 years, by combining several leaked databases of different e-commerce companies, then, stolen databases of your KYC IDs, photos here and there, people are able to weave a basic picture about you, about your age profile, your gender, your cities, your mobile number, communication addresses. And combined with that, if they're able to identify you on social media like Instagram and Facebook, they know whether you're traveling, what is your, if you've opened a new box, what sort of likes and dislikes you have. So once you have a generic profile of a person, it's very easy to launch a psychological attack, and then they call you that, oh, your son is studying in US, he's caught in a drug scandal, or you ordered a courier, and everybody orders something on Diwali, and there are drugs in your courier, and you're under arrest, and you have to report every half an hour, you should not call up anyone. So they are trying to manipulate your psyche by selling fear, by threatening that your public reputation might be harmed. Any act to seek help or cross-verify or cross-check might result in a physical arrest. So, there cannot be any other option but to give mass awareness to deal with this problem. Now, second is the technological challenge. Earlier, people would put fake photos of police officers, DCPs, and extort people in extortion scams. Then we saw this, emergence of deepfake videos, where people were trying to spoof a video of a, police commissioner of a Lucknow city or a Mumbai police commissioner. And sooner or later, once you spread awareness about deepfakes, you had some sort of this thing about people that they'll ask them to get a walk to cross-verify that video. Now, worse, what is happening, they've also realized that ab to khule mein karo. So people are actually wearing fake uniforms, sitting in a call center running the show. It's not even a spoof video or a fake or deepfake video. It is a real person's, wearing a fake uniform.
Triveni ji, acting badi achhi karte hain. It's almost like they've been to some...
No, I got a call from FedEx in the morning. Okay. And I looped him in, and later on he threatened me, agar aapne nahi kiya to Rangers aapke ghar pe aa jayenge. Now India doesn't have Rangers. Rangers are only in Pakistan. So it's everywhere, villages in India, Pakistan, everywhere it is running. Now I think what we can do, the only solution to this entire mess today is a regulatory response. And that could be in the form that this is all done with the intention to defraud people and extort money. Now for money, you need two things. A, you need a mobile number to communicate, be it by WhatsApp or some normal call, and you need a bank account. Now, our KYC system, Rahul, we have discussed many times in your show that this is one of the largest banking democracies. Now, we have onboarded 600 million people in Jan Dhan accounts, right? And we must go for a biometric-enabled KYC now. If you don't do that, then this business of mule accounts, stolen accounts, and scammy accounts will continue. And once the money is gone, then they sub-distribute it into 100 different accounts, then they remix it again. And by the time you even call up 1930 to lodge an FIR, the money is gone. And second, how are you able to still obtain fraudulent SIMs? How does, after you break a SIM or deactivate a SIM, the WhatsApp still continues? Now, that's the problem a regulator can solve along with WhatsApp. Unless you fix your KYC of mobile phones and this banking system, by merely throwing blame on people and then seeking more awareness will not help.
That's an important point. Triveni Singh Sahab, you know, these are good actors. It's almost as if they've been to some professional school का ऐसे धमका रहा है, डरा रहा है. Actual पुलिस वाले भी इस तरह से इतनी एक्टिंग नहीं कर पाते जितना वो डराने की कोशिश कर रहा है. Why do you think people don't catch on to this? Like the psychologist said, if you see a fire, you know you need to run. Yeah, it's almost as if people fall into some kind of a trance and good sense just leaves them for those hours.
देखिए 6-7 दिन पहले यूपीएसटीएफ ने एक जगह रेड किया था. उस टीम से हमारी बात हुई थी. तो जिस जगह पर उन्होंने रेड किया वहाँ एक कॉर्नर में सीबीआई का दफ्तर बना हुआ है, एक कॉर्नर में ईडी बना हुआ है, यूनिफॉर्म रखे हुए हैं, बेल्ट रखे हुए हैं, स्टार्स रखे हुए हैं, सब कुछ रखा हुआ है. अब लोगों को एक्टिंग करनी है. ये इन्फॉर्मेशन देखिए ढेर सारे टूल्स हैं जिससे सिर्फ आपके नंबर से हमको ये जानकारी हो जाएगी कि आप क्या फेडेक्स कुरियर किए हैं कि नहीं, क्या आप अमेजन पे ट्रेडिंग किए, कोई चीज़ परचेज किए हैं कि नहीं, क्या स्विगी जोमेटो पे आप कोई चीज़ परचेज करते हैं कि नहीं. ढेर सारे टूल्स हैं. सिर्फ मोबाइल नंबर से आपकी मेल आईडी, आपके एड्रेस, लोकेशन, आपकी सोशल मीडिया की पूरी प्रोफाइल सामने आ जाती है विदिन 2 मिनट्स 3 मिनट्स. तो क्रिमिनल्स भी वही सोशल मीडिया के टूल्स यूज कर रहे हैं. आपका नंबर कहीं से मैनेज कर लिया, आपकी प्रोफाइल सोशल मीडिया पर रीड करते रहते हैं और उसके बाद शुरू हो जाता है कि ये फेडेक्स कुरियर मिला है जिसमें ड्रग्स मिले हुए हैं, या आप चाइल्ड पोर्नोग्राफी देख रहे थे जो कि हीनियस क्राइम है और उसमें ये अलर्ट आया है पुलिस की तरफ से. लोग सोचते हैं कि पोर्नोग्राफी या कोई इस तरह की कोई ऑब्सीन चीज़ हम देख रहे हैं वो हो सकता है डिटेक्ट हो गया हो, पुलिस ने डिटेक्ट किया हो. तो ये जो फियर फैक्टर है, जो आदमी के दिमाग में दहशत है ईडी का, सीबीआई का, पुलिस का, उसी का मिसयूज करके क्रिमिनल आपको तरह तरह के जो सोशल इंजीनियरिंग ट्रिक्स यूज करते हैं और डरा के और आपसे आपके अकाउंट का टेक ओवर करते हैं.
Let me in fact show you part 2 of our own investigation. A fake cop complete with a uniform, a badge and a setup that looks like a police station on a video call. There was an elaborate trap that had been set up. Our investigative reporter Nitin Jain was now under what's called a digital arrest. He was asked to be alone, not to answer any calls and not to inform anyone about what was happening to him. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Watch part 2 of this India Today special investigation, Operation Digital Arrest.
An alleged cop on video call with access to all personal details, charges of drug smuggling and money laundering, threats of jail time. This is how the web was spun. The next day, the plot thickened. We were asked to undergo a purity test.
सिक्योरिटी टेस्ट से आप गुजरेंगे, उसको फॉलो कीजिए और जो भी ऊपर हायर अथॉरिटीज है उनसे क्वेश्चन नहीं कीजिए, वो अच्छे से समझते हैं काम कैसे किया जाता है.
Next, another officer came into the picture and sent an ED warrant complete with the reporter's picture.
आपको मैंने आपके वारंट्स भेजा, एक बार इस रिकॉर्डेड लाइन पे रीड आउट करिए.
डायरेक्टरेट ऑफ एनफोर्समेंट, एक्सचेंज मैनेजमेंट एक्ट फेमा, और ये कह रहा है इशूइंग अथॉरिटी, इशूइंग यूनिट सुप्रीम कोर्ट, सेंट्रल ब्यूरो ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन, सस्पेक्ट मिस्टर नितिन जैन. सर मेरा तो कोई लेना देना ही नहीं सर.
2 days of investigation, and now for the clincher. A document in the name of the Supreme Court of India, complete with fake signature of the Chief Justice. The document sought a guarantee of 10 lakh rupees.
बिल्कुल, आपने गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को, सुप्रीम कोर्ट को आपने एलिजिबिलिटी दी नहीं होगी कि आप कहीं इस केस से भागेंगे नहीं. आप ऑफिसर के साथ, मेरे साथ और अजय के साथ आप जुड़े रहेंगे, ठीक है ना. फाइनेंशियल डिपार्टमेंट की एक फीमेल मैं आपके लिए हायर करूंगा, ठीक है ना. वो आपको बताएंगी किस तरीके से आपने डिपॉजिट करवाना होगा सुप्रीम कोर्ट के अकाउंट में और क्या प्रोसीजर होगा.
राइट सर.
Yeah, it's from PD department.
Yes,
Tell me
ma'am.
how you'll pay.
Next, we talk to a woman, and this woman sends us the account details.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sim?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's from PD department.
Yes,
Tell me
ma'am.
how you'll pay.
What? How do I pay, ma'am?
Yeah,
I'll pay online, ma'am.
online through the ICICI app or any net banking app.
ICICI, ma'am. आप मुझे you just give me your account details, and I'll save it into it, and I'll then transfer the desired money. Hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
मैम आप मुझे WhatsApp करेंगे डिटेल्स या बताएंगे? मैं लिखूंगा उनको.
मैं आपको WhatsApp करूंगी.
Right, ma'am. Right.
Over 30 hours of digital arrest, fake police officers, fake ED officer, fake warrants, fake documents in the name of the Supreme Court of India, all orchestrated to entrap unsuspecting citizens and extort money. With Nitin Jain, this is India Today's special investigation team.
Kanish Gaur is at the India Future Foundation. I was reading the report that your team has put out. It seems this is not just limited to isolated cases. Kanish, this now seems to be happening at a staggering industrial scale of scams.
Yes, Rahul. More than 50,000 Indians have been missing, according to Ministry of Home Affairs, in Southeast Asia. So what is happening today is that these people go out to Thailand on a tourist visa, and from Thailand they travel to countries like Cambodia and to Laos, where they become part of organized cyber criminal gangs, and now are doing these digital arrests, calling out people. So you would see massive level of scam being done, and it's very difficult to control them today because they are being supported by groups whose job is to turn this back money into money which is collected from various bank accounts, gets converted into cryptocurrencies and becomes a part of the white income of various groups which were earlier running casinos in Southeast Asia. So a lot of these casinos got shut down during COVID. So these have found new methods of making money by doing cyber frauds, and this is a major issue. They get people from India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan to come here, and you can easily get recruited through Facebook. You all need to do is search for jobs in Cambodia. You will find tremendous amount of jobs on Telegram and on Facebook, which you can become a part of. And they will take away your passport and pay these people $1,500 to $2,000 per month, give them food of their choice and give them compound. They also say that we have HR to support you, we'll make you work, we'll also allow you to move out of the compound. So anyone who is not getting a job or is looking out for a job is now becoming a victim of some of these organized cyber criminal gangs which are operating not just within India but from Southeast Asia and are targeting the masses today.
Nirali Bhatia, when you spoke first, you spoke of the psyche of the smart individual who otherwise is very digitally savvy but falls prey to this kind of a digital arrest scam. What is your counsel? What is your advice to those watching at this time? What should they potentially do, keep in mind? What are the red flags that should go off to ensure that if they see if they see a situation, they know that this could be a trap and they don't fall into it?
So at this moment, awareness is our biggest key to prevention and to our safety book. Being aware, and I think government channels like yours, all of us are really, really talking about this, and it is something that is really important. A previous speaker also mentioned about, where people are getting trafficked. So cyber slavery is also connected to this same particular crime. So it's not just one, all of them are linked. So being aware on regular cyber crimes is important. Secondly, what they can always remember is in an online world, we need to practice zero trust. See, most of those hackers, criminals, they act on urgency. They create that kind of urgency that you have to do it now, and otherwise they'll show you a bigger consequence. Just take that pause. hold on, they are any which ways away from the screen. I mean, they are not in person with you, that there's a physical harm. Patience, don't panic, don't trust, do your lot of due diligence. Like if you're applying for jobs, you need to do double or 3 times the due diligence what you would do otherwise. Don't get carried away in that greed or lure. So it is actually our vulnerabilities that these hackers are exploiting, and that's how they are targeting. It's not even just random now. They do a lot of homework. Some of them also, use social engineering to befriend you first. They give you certain kind of offers, and then it leads to these kind of crimes.
Richa, how did your ordeal end? You say you were in this situation for about 2 odd hours. How did you get out of it?
गेट आउट ऑफ एक्चुअली था कि जब उन्होंने मुझे 2 घंटे रखा, उन्होंने खुद बोला कि आप कॉल रख दीजिए, 7 डेज ये आपकी जांच चलेगी, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग, ड्रग रैकेट. और उनकी जो वॉइस थी, बहुत टॉर्चर करते हैं वो आपको, वो लाइटली बात नहीं करते, इवन एब्यूजिंग लैंग्वेज पे आ जाते हैं वो. और वो टॉर्चर इतना था कि मैं रो रही थी. और वीडियो कॉल पे, हाँ, मैं वीडियो कॉल पे अपना चेहरा छोटा सा आपको अपना भी दिखता है, मैं खुद को देख रही हूँ, मेरे आंसू गिर रहे हैं. लेकिन आंसू गिरते आप पहुंचते हो, लेकिन वो एक हिप्नोटाइज जैसी सिचुएशन है कि मैं फोन इधर से इधर भी नहीं कर रही थी.
क्यों?
वो आप नहीं कर रहे होते.
I find this
फॉलो करना होता है.
very difficult to understand this hypnosis. A lot of people, when you speak to victims of these cyber crimes and you ask them later, but why didn't you just cut the call? They said, I was feeling hypnotized.
देखिए 3-4 केसेस मैं भी डील कर चुका हूँ. उसमें तीनों विक्टिम के साथ जो एग्जैक्टली जैसे इनके साथ हुआ, वो लोग इतना डर जाते हैं कि उनकी हिम्मत ये नहीं होती कि फोन को इधर से उधर कर दें. वो इतना उनको सीबीआई के नाम पे, ईडी के नाम पे इतना डरा दिया जाता है, और उनको ये लगता है कि सचमुच में विक्टिम हूँ, सचमुच में मेरे खिलाफ वारंट है, सीबीआई बीच में है, ईडी है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर दिखाते हैं, अरेस्ट वारंट दिखाते हैं, एग्जैक्टली वैसे ही जैसे अरेस्ट वारंट आप देखते हैं. तो आदमी इतना डर जाता है कि हिम्मत नहीं होती उसकी हिलने की. 3 विक्टिम से मेरा खुद का इंटरेक्शन है. वो लोग रो करके, इतनी हिम्मत नहीं थी कि घर में किसी को आने नहीं देते थे, वो किसी को घुसने नहीं देते थे, उसके सामने बैठे रहते एग्जैक्टली डर के. ये इस तरह की स्थिति पैदा कर
मेरा भी उन्होंने पूरा रूम बंद करवाया. पहले बोला 360 डिग्री में अपना घर दिखाइए, मैंने उन्हें दिखाया है. फिर बोला एक डोर खुला हुआ है, तो मैंने कहा सर वो मेन डोर बंद है, जस्ट वुडन डोर खुला है. नहीं वो भी बंद करिए, रोशनी आ रही है. तो जस्ट मैंने कहा ठीक है, कर्टन भी बंद कर दो. तो कर्टन जस्ट मेरे साइड, नहीं कंप्लीट कर्टन बंद करिए. वो भी मैंने कहा सर ओके. मैं जस्ट लाइक अ पपेट सब करती जा रही थी, और वो मुझसे सब करा रहे थे. और फिर उन्होंने बोला लास्ट कि हर 2 घंटे पे रिपोर्ट देना.
Nirali Bhatia, this story that Richa narrates, this hypnosis that seems to have overcome her, try and decode that from a psychological perspective.
It is the hypnosis created out of fear. Like my previous speaker also mentioned, it is the way the fear is induced, and it is in multiple formats. It's not just in forms of consequence कि भाई आपके नाम का FIR है या arrest होने वाला है या ये arrest है. Not just that, it is also in terms of shame, it's also in terms of abuse. So it is reinforced over and over again. So it is out of fear that we are unable to move or think even logically or practically. Forget practically and logically, thinking itself goes for a toss because you don't want to take any chance. You're just waiting, and it's also the isolation. The moment we isolate somebody, the fear amplifies. And that is what they play on. अगर आपको बोले कि घर में बाकी लोगों को रहने दो, तो फिर भी थोड़ी बहुत उम्मीद रहती है कि हम हिम्मत दिखाएंगे. But if you isolate a person, and that's why they isolate you, that then your fear is amplified, and because of that you feel like you're stuck over here. आप नहीं हिल पाओगे. You might be an IT professional, but you won't even be, clear on, oh, how do I exit this or how do I end this? You will be just dumb, in a way, dumb doll and, following the instructions.
So far, 120 crore rupees have been lost to digital arrest scams between January and April this year. In his Mann Ki Baat address, the Prime Minister cautioned against this latest scam. He clarified that no investigating agency ever makes video calls. He also asked people to stay calm and not to reveal personal details to anyone.
Textile Baron S.P. Oswal, Chairman of the Vardhaman Group, swindled of 7 crores by fraudsters impersonating the Central Bureau of Investigation officers. The accused also staged a fake court hearing to add authenticity to their claims. Oswal was only the latest high-profile victim of the digital arrest scam. The Home Ministry's Cybercrime Coordination Centre says that Indians lost 120 crores in digital arrest frauds from January to April this year.
आप ये देखेंगे कि इस पे ये पुलिस ऑफिसर मुझे अलग अलग तरीके से धमकाने की कोशिश कर रहा है कि आपके नंबर से मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग हुआ है, आपका नंबर जो है एक मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग केस में कोई सुरेश प्रभु करके है, उसके केस के अंदर आया हुआ है, 20 करोड़ रुपए आपने अपना अकाउंट किसी को दिया है, पर्सनल आईडी किसी को शेयर करिए ताकि आप पैसा कमा सको। फिर उन्होंने अलग अलग तरीके से मुझसे मेरा अकाउंट नंबर मांगा और अकाउंट नंबर में कितना पैसा है, आप कितना कमाते हो, ये सब कुछ जाना कि उससे अब प्रोफाइलिंग की उन्होंने कि कितना पैसा वो ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं।
आपको जब डिजिटल अरेस्ट करते हैं तो एक ऐसा आपको डरा के और एक ऐसा कुछ लोग पुलिस के रूप में आ जाएंगे और आपको लगने लगेगा कि ये चीज़ें हो रही हैं। पब्लिक को भी हम लोग एजुकेट लगातार कर रहे हैं कि सीबीआई का कोई अधिकारी वर्दी पहन के नहीं रहता है, या जो स्पेशल सेल के लोग रहते हैं वो कहीं भी वर्दी में नहीं दिखते। वर्दी केवल जो सिविल पुलिस है जिसको लॉ एंड ऑर्डर ड्यूटी के लिए फील्ड में जाना पड़ता है उसके द्वारा धारण किया जाता है।
Apart from digital arrest, lakhs of unsuspecting people are falling prey to trading scam, investment scam and dating scam. This alarming surge has prompted the Prime Minister to call for vigilance against online frauds.
आपको पता होना चाहिए, कोई भी जांच एजेंसी फोन कॉल या वीडियो कॉल पर इस तरह पूछताछ कभी भी नहीं करती।
The Prime Minister also warned about the scaremongering tactic of digital arrests.
डिजिटल अरेस्ट के शिकार होने वालों में हर वर्ग, हर उम्र के लोग हैं। लोगों ने डर की वजह से अपनी मेहनत से कमाए हुए लाखों रुपए गंवा दिए हैं। फोन करने वाले कभी पुलिस, कभी सीबीआई, कभी नारकोटिक्स, कभी आरबीआई, ऐसे भांति भांति के लेबल लगाकर बनावटी अधिकारी बनकर बात करते हैं और बड़े कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ करते हैं। ये खतरनाक खेल क्या है, आपको भी समझना बहुत जरूरी है, औरों को भी समझाना उतना ही आवश्यक है।
It's important to note that Indian law does not authorize digital or video call arrests. Any such call is a scam. Beware. With Arvind Ojha and Himanshu Mishra in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Trying to build awareness is the first step, which is what we're trying to do through this broadcast. The Prime Minister also used the platform he had of Mann Ki Baat to try and amplify this message. But Nitin Jain, beyond that, what can be done? You know, the fact that I was just chatting with my mom and she said she didn't have double factor authentication on. So they're very important measures that consumers can take to ensure that, God forbid, if they were to fall prey to a scam, at least the basic guardrails are there to ensure that money doesn't leave their account. Everything else is an irritation. People get messages that you're in trouble, give me 30,000-40,000 rupees. All that is there. But what are the basic guardrails you think consumers and our viewers should try and put up?
Rahul, the best and the most easiest solution is that we must put transaction limits to our bank accounts and credit cards. Maybe 3,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees. Almost every bank now gives you that on-app feature that you can restrict the international
usage. No, but if you put that smaller transaction limit, then you yourself, when you're trying to make a credit card transaction, it'll get declined.
Yeah. Now, second, no, you can increase it in real time within 1 second. So that's the best way not to.
Sir, ऐसे कौन? आप भी कुछ practical बोलो ना. 1 second. You put a 5,000 rupee transaction, then you are trying to make a 7,000 rupee transaction. Your 5,000 transaction will get declined. So those are real problems.
Rahul, 10,000 कर लीजिए. Not every day we spend 10,000 in every transaction. You could do but एक साथ 5 lakh रुपए transfer नहीं होंगे. Now, very important. You know, this whole psychology is what we are discussing on digital arrest. Why they're isolating you? Why they don't want anyone to seek help? And why it takes more than 24 hours of digital arrest? They could scam within 5-10 minutes. The reason is that they want you to add a new beneficiary in your bank account, and that takes sometimes 7 hours to 24 hours, depending on different banks. And that is why they are forced to somehow trick you to stay online in front of them without seeking help for 24 hours. Now, that gives you a golden window to banks to use AI-based solutions to ensure that a new beneficiary, if it is added to your bank account, and if there is a a transaction which is not routine, the amount is being transferred, they must call up and verify. They must call up and seek help. No. And third, so this is, you could use technology at population scale to fight this problem, because this golden window of 7 to 24 hours is available with banks. Because no fraudsters can call you up and say, "Abhi mere account mein paisa transfer kar do." You don't have a beneficiary added. It takes 7 hours to 24 hours to get it activated. And then in the first 7 hours, there is only a 50,000 rupees.
Kanishk, your suggestions?
So there is a window available. If there is a will, there is a way. And third, I think Rahul, आपने 130 CR का figure दिखाया. 130 CR in trading scam, this scam. 700 crores are gone, not in cash, not in some 420 scheme. They are gone through banks. There is a detailed footprint available. And tell me how much is recovered? Almost not even 2%. So that shows that our banking system is collapsing because of the lack of stringent KYC. And that is the root cause of this entire mess these people are able to exploit.
Kanishk, your active suggestions, advice to viewers to ensure they don't fall prey to these scams?
I think first thing what they should immediately...
First and foremost, police will never seek money from you online. So if someone is calling you, they're calling to isolate you, right? So never transfer money to a police person online. You could always look at methods of going to a police thana. The second part is, if you have set up UPI payments, so you will have to limit how much money you can transfer at once. So it is not just that you have to wait for bank accounts to be added. They are also taking money primarily through your UPI. So you add someone and you can easily transfer 1 lakh rupees. So what you need to do is, you need to wait, you need to verify. There are helplines which the government has set up, 1930. If somebody is calling you, reach out to the 1930 helpline or go to the local police station. So the hurry which is created in terms of making the payments, one needs to be aware to ensure that you don't transfer the money ASAP. That is something which is needed right now. The other part, like which Jitain added, when you have to add someone, it takes time for you to add someone. So try and see, you talk to people. The biggest issue is they isolate you. So if you talk to someone, your parents or family members, they will let you know. So the is the key thing in digital arrest, right? So I think those are some of the key things which must play an important role today, where people, either they talk to family members or call up the 1930 helpline or talk to a cyber expert who can let you know what this is all about. Yesterday, I was in touch with a doctor who paid 30,000 rupees on digital arrest, and he was taken to Skype. So a lot of these people are taken to Skype so that the identity remains anonymous. From WhatsApp, he was taken to Skype. So he didn't even have the Skype app installed on his phone. And as soon as he transferred the money, everybody just deleted the WhatsApp messages, and the Skype ID also got blocked. So what is also required is law enforcement cooperation in terms of ensuring some of these accounts are blocked. The third thing which we noticed was the bank account was set up in India. The bank account was set up in India in a private company's name. So a lot of these bank accounts are set up to ensure that the money moves from multiple accounts. So this was set up in a company's name in northeast of India. So law enforcement will have to look at mechanisms to block some of these accounts if somebody is complaining. So that's another aspect where work needs to happen forward. So, and from a law India standpoint, we need a central agency which can look at cyber crime holistically, because cyber still remains a state subject. It is not just a national issue, it goes to the state. So it's very difficult for different state police to coordinate. So a cyber criminal might be sitting in different part of the country, and when it comes for solving crime, so it's like CBI, ED, we also need a national cyber agency which can work across different states for tracking, monitoring cybercrime, not only from a response standpoint, but also from an enforcement standpoint.
So I think we've covered some important ground in this conversation. Our investigative reports highlighting how this scam actually happens, and the guests narrating their own experiences, sharing their expertise on what you can do to ensure that you don't fall prey to this digital arrest scam. Are you okay now, Richa? Have you recovered from this trauma? Are you still feeling traumatized? I hope the hypnosis is over now.
Hypnosis is over, but sometimes I feel someone chasing, someone stalking. और जो अभी साइबर वाली बात उन्होंने बोली, मैंने भी फ़ोन किया था साइबर क्राइम में, होश आते ही 1930, एंड फर्स्ट 24 आवर्स वेबसाइट ओपन नहीं हुई. सेकेंड डे कॉल लगा जब उन्हें, और उन्होंने बोला हम ये वर्बली नहीं लेते, लिखित में दीजिए। मैंने रिटर्न में 1500 वर्ड्स के ऑप्शन है आपके पास, मैंने उसमें लिखे कि somebody threatening me and I'm in a today group, स्पेशली मीडिया मेंशन किया कि शायद मेरी शिकायत जल्दी सुनी जाए, बट आज 15 to 20 days पास्ट, सिंगल कॉल नहीं आया, सेक्टर समथिंग उन्होंने कॉल मेरा कंप्लेंट ट्रांसफर कर दिया है। तो जस्ट मुझे
that's interesting you mentioned because we tried to call 1930 this morning as well and nothing happened. I mean we couldn't get through, couldn't speak to anyone, which is a very big problem. स्टार्ट तो आप लोग करते तो फिर चलता है नहीं, अब आप नहीं हो लेकिन आप इसके जवाब तो दीजिए।
डर ये है सबसे बड़ा कि मैं इसके बाद कहाँ जाऊँ, फंस तो गई, निकल आई, बट अब मैं कहाँ जाऊँ, किसको बोलूँ, क्या हो गया?
So nothing has happened, you still don't know who did that scam?
No, I don't know.
नहीं, देखिए, एक अगर फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड हुआ, आपका पैसा गया है तो 1930 उसमें कारगर है। अदरवाइज दूसरा ऑप्शन आपके पास ये है कि cybercrime.gov.in पे जाके कंप्लेन कराइए।
वो कह रहे हैं उन्होंने लिखी, कोई जवाब ही नहीं आया।
चीज हम लोग
20 दिन में उनको जवाब नहीं आया।
इवन अभी भी अंडर प्रोसेस लिखा हुआ है।
नहीं, बिल्कुल आप सही करेंगे। वो एक कंप्लेंट होता है, उस कंप्लेंट को लेकर के आप अपने पुलिस स्टेशन पे, या तो साइबर क्राइम पुलिस स्टेशन हो सकता है या जिस ज्यूरिडिक्शन में आप रहते हैं उस पुलिस स्टेशन पे जाइए, कहिए हमारा FIR कायम करें। FIR रजिस्टर होता है, उसके बाद केस।
नहीं, मैंने इसके बाद 112 नोएडा पुलिस को भी बुलाया था, क्योंकि सेकेंड डे फिर कॉल आया था करण वर्मा का, और जब मैंने उनको बुलाया तो जस्ट वो गाड़ी के साथ आ गए। मैंने जब उनको बताया सर यहाँ पर कोई नहीं है, फोन पर हुआ है, दोबारा कॉल आया है, मैडम फोन मत उठाइए, इससे ज्यादा क्या है, ये तो आते रहते और आपके साथ तो ठगी भी नहीं हुई। तो मैं और भी स्कैर्ड हूँ कि अच्छा।
I think we've covered some very important ground, given you certain things you should look at very carefully. I want to thank our guests for coming here, sharing their experience and expertise with us. We'll track this story very, very carefully. This was Operation Digital Arrest, brought to you by the India Today Special Investigation Team. Prime Minister Modi and his Spanish counterpart Pedro Sanchez inaugurated the Tata Airbus C295 project in Vadodara in Gujarat. The C295 facility is the first private factory from which planes ready to take the skies will be rolled out. From enhancing India's defense capabilities, creating jobs and positioning India as a defense export hub, this project is revolutionary in many ways.